Hey guys, a lot of you know that we're running YouTube ads. We're just in the testing process, and sharing this experience with you may be boring for some of you, and if it is, just completely check out. But before you do, I want to encourage you to think of it a little bit differently. I'm sharing with you this experience, the journey of a marketer that leads to incredible success. And in that process, I do believe you can learn a lot about patience, the value of patience, the returns that come from patience as you're testing things. Uh, so I encourage you to kind of follow along. Don't have to. Could just wait until we announce the perfect ad has been discovered and duplicate it and join the home run hitters, or follow along as we do that, as we hunt for the gold vein, and then you're going to start to develop the mindset that is required to win and just have a different level of confidence. And I believe that gives you an ability to gain so much more insight from the marketing and efforts that you put forth. Anyway, so let me just jump in. A lot of you know we started testing YouTube ads. Here's where we're at with it. So we first did this video that a lot of you have seen. I won't play it again. And it's just the first one we put together really quickly. And we knew it was risque. We knew that it could be challenging, but we were looking for the most expedient way to get something out there that was closest to what we're doing now, that would require as little change of message as possible, and just get it out there. And that would be easy for you guys to duplicate if it worked. So we ran. We put the first ad up, and it was accepted, surprisingly. Actually, sorry, the first ad was rejected because of us connecting immediately to the MyDailyChoice lead capture page. So the reasoning and this is all bots, right? This is all automated. The reasoning they gave for rejecting the ad didn't really make any sense, except all I can deduce from it is probably somewhere along the lines, one of the distributors, one of the affiliates of MyDailyChoice, or more than one, was posting YouTube ads, could have been years ago, that violated YouTube's terms. And so they just immediately associated that site with violating the terms. That's my best guess. So we can't, and I'm not surprised by that. This is why we call it guerrilla online marketing. When you're promoting opportunities a lot of people are promoting, it's just things get trickier in this regard with getting on the big networks. So, but it doesn't mean we can't overcome it and figure it out. So we're not going to promote directly to the MyDailyChoice website, and that's okay, because that gives us a lot of advantages in other ways, which I won't go into right now. Some of you are familiar with those. So the next ad we put up was exactly the same, except we linked to a lead capture page we created. And the lead capture page was basically the same video, because instead of wasting time making a second video, we wanted to see if the ad would just be accepted. See, this is the process a marketer takes. So we sent them to a page that looks something like this, that has the same exact video in it. And instead of taking the time to record a new video, there's a lot of what this kind of gives you insight on how marketers test and launch things initially. We just sending them to the same exact video to see if the ad would be accepted. And it was. And then we put another one up to test a different audience. And the first one we were testing, and I'm not going to go too much detail yet because I don't have a lot of insights back yet, but just to give you some idea, the first audiences we were targeting was people who followed Bob Proctor. If you know who that is, he was in The Secret. He has a pretty big YouTube following. Bob Proctor and the keyword network marketing. So it would have been whenever network marketing was mentioned or came up in one of his videos on his channel, then people would see this ad. The ad that looks like this would play at the beginning of his video, and if they clicked, then they would go here. We also ran another ad that went to a similar page. We do have a different button so we can track where the leads are coming from. But basically it's the same thing. We're just tracking different keywords. So instead of Bob Proctor network marketing, and the second one, we were tracking a different audience. I can't remember now if it was Brendan Burchard network marketing or what it was. And then we had another one, which I don't have the page in front of me, It went to a page that looked exactly the same, but again, the button link was different just so we could track where the lead came from. By the way, this button goes to the MDC page. So we still have the buttons going to the MDC page. That got through, as long as we didn't directly go to the MDC page. Okay. And then, so the third one we tested was Bob Proctor without network marketing, so a much larger audience. So that was the one that got the most traction, like right away, because the hits were so much higher because there's a much larger audience for just Bob Proctor as opposed to Bob Proctor network marketing. That got a lot of traction. And right away we maxed out our daily budget at like 27 or 28 bucks. But one thing we needed to learn with YouTube ads, because we did YouTube ads a long time ago, but it's changed a lot. Where our big claim to fame was with ads was Facebook. A lot of similarities, but there's little nuances, differences that we're working through that I'm going to share with you. So the one I'm going to focus on right now is the one that really got a lot of traction, because the other ones, Brendon Burchard network marketing and Bob Proctor network marketing, really didn't get any traction, didn't go anywhere because there's just not enough views. So that's one thing we learned, which we suspected, but we wanted to put it out there. So we're going to be testing other keywords. We need to make sure we hit a large enough audience to get some traction. The one that did get traction was just Bob Proctor, not our most targeted audience. So I didn't expect great results, but again, we're testing is all. And like I said, about 27, 28 bucks the first day we ran through. And then it showed we got one click on the ad, just one click on the ad. And we weren't sure if we got a lead. So someone had clicked on the ad and landed on this page, and we thought, and that was that. And again, I don't have all these stats. I wasn't prepared to do that. I'll break things down as we get more insights. I just want to give you kind of an introduction into all of this. I can't remember the exact number of views we had on the video. And in fact, we're a little unclear how to read those views, because in one area it's saying a much higher number of views on the ad that we got than somewhere else. And I'll get into that in the future. And we think maybe it just takes more time for it to all kind of match up. And we're hiring consultants. I'll get into that in a minute to sort some of these things, these details out. But nonetheless, we got a lot of views. I can't remember the exact number. These are things I will break down in the future. But it said we only got one click. And I was like, wow, that's pretty bad, one click. But the number of views was so high, and I was really confused by that. I was like, wow, because a view it didn't count unless someone watched the video for 30 seconds. So it was actually really good in the sense that a lot of people were watching it for 30 seconds or more. They don't even count it unless they watch for 30 seconds. So that means like they're really paying attention. And that tells us there's something we can do with that. But I was a little surprised that so many people, and again, I don't remember the exact stat, but it was a pretty large number of people that had watched it for more than 30 seconds. And it said only one clicked on the ad to go to the lead capture page. And that was surprising. I was like, that's weird. Okay. And I was like, well, let me write you a new script and let's do another video. Robin's really fast at putting really high quality videos together, her in it, shooting it. I'm really fast with the script and just what to say. And a lot of you might be wondering if I'm ever going to be in the videos. And the answer is yes, eventually. But we have this process down that's really fast for testing and stuff. So not necessary. And she's so good on video that we'll just, run with that. I'm not so fast. I mean, I can do video, but it's not fast for me to get the lighting right and get everything set up just the way we want it. Because you can see she has kind of a feminine look around her. It just wouldn't be appropriate for me to be on that set. It doesn't match my vibe at all. And so it's not so fast for me to have something that looks decent that set up. I'm not set up for the studio like she is. So we will get there. I've had studios set up before, but I haven't been doing video for a long time because we've been building this like behind the scenes stuff. So the time will come where, yes, if for those that are curious, I'll be in videos. But right now, we're going to have Robin lead the way with being in the front. I help with the messaging so that we can move really fast with testing. So, because I've got so many other things to do, as you guys know, on the back end, so we work as a team. So now where we're at, well, then we put up another ad with another keyword that said work from home business opportunity, and that got rejected. And the reason it got rejected didn't make any sense either. So kind of like Facebook, where a lot of things just don't make sense. Like they rejected it, basically saying like they don't allow, anything that makes people think that they can be successful at it, even if it's possible, if it's not probable, like these kinds of things. And so probably they're just looking at income online. I don't know. I'm not sure. They probably, they're just they don't like the business opportunity stuff because there's been so many people that have gone too far and they really don't know how to assess it in an automated way. And so that was what came up there. But what's interesting is all the other ads went through. It was just when we went after different keywords, work from home and business opportunity, then it somehow triggered it. So there's lots of things I could glean from that. It's too early to say, but maybe just those keywords trigger it. Maybe it would have been triggered no matter what. It just happens to be that sometimes this video and everything we're doing would be triggered until we do something else. And that's okay too. Like, we're sorting this out and we'll let you know. I just want to let you know that we have gotten a lot of ads through. However, here's the biggest thing. Today we woke up and it showed 7 clicks instead of 1. Remember I said we only got 1 click and I thought that was weird? Well, we actually got 7. And so we contacted the consultant. He says, yeah, it takes a long time sometimes for all the stats to come in. And we also got a lead, a pre-enrollee from the YouTube source. But then Robin remembered she accidentally emailed her list the same link. So we don't actually know if the lead came from YouTube or from her accident. So these are the things that happen to marketers early on in testing as we set up and organize the process. So obviously, so she accidentally contaminated that experiment. And so we start over again. But we learned a lot already. We learned that the ad gets through. We learned that it doesn't go through if we link directly to the MDC page. We learned that we are able to we got most of them through, I think 3 out of 4 that have the link to the MDC page in this button. We learned that reporting doesn't happen right away, which is a little different than what I'm used to with Facebook. Maybe Facebook's changed recently because I haven't ran ads for a little while, but I used to do, multi-million-dollar budgets on Facebook, and the stats were pretty obvious and clear for the most part, except for on occasion. And so it was a bit of a surprise to us that it showed 1 click yesterday and today it showed 7, and it sounds like it might take 5 more days before we actually see how many clicks that we got. Now, we know we weren't producing a gangbuster huge result in pre-enrollees from that $28, but if we did get one, based on everything else I'm seeing, and if we got 7 clicks and maybe more on the way or maybe more to be reported, that would be impressive, because I wouldn't expect this to work that well in terms of I wanted it to get them to the next page. So I'm happy. I was a little bummed out to hear it only got 1 click, but to learn that it got 7, that sounds pretty good for a starting point. So we got them here, a lot more people here than I thought initially. And then now the question is, okay, what kind of video can go here to get them to the next page? I should say, once we learned that it was rejecting directly linking to the MDC page, which we knew was a high probability, it changes what this video should say. So we need to do another video. But before we shoot more videos, we're kind of testing other things now using what we have in place. And in fact, that kind of leads me to where I'm at right now. We hired 1 consultant and just paid him for an hour's time and learned a lot. And again, we can learn this really, really fast with YouTube because we've already done such huge volume on Facebook and a lot of it applies. And we've done YouTube before. It's just been a few years, quite a few years. So it's not going to take us long with consultant help to ramp all this up. The hard part usually with ads is just understanding what marketing is and what the game plan is and how to do it. You can move from network to network really freely once you have all that down, especially with a little help from a consultant to help kind of navigate how to set stuff up. For example, the one consultant we just got, we're going to go ahead and get a package now of coaching with him, or not coaching, but consulting. And then same thing we found another consultant. We're actually going to hire both. One's a little bit more expensive than the other. And we're going to let them both help manage running 2 different sets of campaigns. One's going to test for optimizing clicks. So just clicks on the ad to this page. And the other said, and this is new to me, but he said there's a way that we can load in the MDC lead capture page and actually track results there, which doesn't make any sense to me because we can't put the pixel on there. It's not our site. We can't control that. And while we probably could contact Josh at My Daily Choice, I need you guys to be able to duplicate this. And it's just not reasonable that you guys all would be able to contact the company and put your link on there. So everything we test, I want you guys to be able to do. So I'm not going to even do that. But if there's a way, one of the consultants is saying there's a way for us to test results that we're getting on the MDC lead capture page. And if that's the case, we can optimize for results. And what that means is we can tell YouTube to use its AI algorithm, and as we're advertising and as people are clicking, it can see who to advertise to based on behavior. And it's all happening automatically. This is how it works. And it can improve the results that we're getting on its own when you have it set up properly. So for example, one of our consultants, we're going to have them help us track for just clicks, which is really basic and not considered, the best way. But I want to kind of nail this down and figure out how do we optimize for clicks in case that's what we have to do. Because I'm still not 100% sold that we're going to be able to optimize based off the MDC page, because that's new to me that we would be able to do that. Or it seems like there'd be limitations to that will be revealing themselves as we go. So I want to with one consultant, we're going to optimize for clicks and set it up so that we get the best cost per click on the ad that takes them to this page, right? Because then we would be able to at least learn, hey, what ad and what message to what audience gets the best cost per click, gets their attention to come to the next page, which we can improve over time, right? But at least we could know which audiences, which keywords, and which video on the front end gets the least cost per click. Now, that's not the only thing to be looking for, but that's one big helpful thing to know. So we'll be testing for that. And then with the other consultant, we're going to test and try to optimize with what he said we could do, which is for actual clicks on this button. And I don't want to do it because it's going to show up on our stats, but to the MDC page. So hopefully you follow that. If not, I'll keep going over this as we move forward. Lots of stuff to learn, lots of stuff to do. Again, you're leveraging, we're paying these consultants a lot of money. Like the first hour was nothing, but now we're moving into them managing and setting up these campaigns. And we're actually going to hire 2 just to make sure we learn all the ins and outs. You think about the experience. I just want you to put this in perspective to really understand the full value of you being here and following the process as best you can over time. Even if you don't follow everything I say today, and even if you tune out on a lot of these types of videos, this is all leading to the point where we say, we found it. Here's the video. Look at the results we're getting. It's amazing. All you have to follow us click by click, get it set up, duplicate. You're going to get fantastic results. That's going to take us time. I'm going to share with you the play-by-play, but we will get there. That's what we do as marketers and have done for years. On many networks, Facebook being the biggest one that we did that with because it was the most effective for us at the time. And I've done it on other networks as well, and we'll do it on other networks here. We're going to move to Bing next, but I want to crack the YouTube net because it's so big. So imagine, whether you follow everything play by play or not, there's certainly advantages if you do, if you want these extra insights. But if you can't, or you're not really that interested in the play by plays like I gave today, just imagine how valuable it is that you just get to be here and we get to announce when everything just comes together and we're getting phenomenal results with YouTube. Think of all of the experience, first of all, that is required, the years and years of experience to be able to navigate this, to have the confidence to hire a consultant, to know what to ask, to know what to do. But then think of the time that goes into managing what I'm sharing with you right now and testing all these YouTube ads and all those hours and hours with the consultants. And then imagine, well, the fact is you have 2 of us, you have Robin and I. And then imagine, we're creating the content and everything else and the extra costs that you don't have to spend to have the infrastructure in place to do all of this, including the ad spending and the hiring of the consultants themselves. So when you add all of that up, it's massive value. And I really want you to keep all of that in perspective. It's really, really, it's really valuable. But you have to stick around long enough to gain the leverage, to gain the benefit. And I think that's what a lot of people who've never had a lot of success don't realize, whether it's in marketing or anywhere with anything, you have to stick with something long enough to gain the advantage. And then, I just want you to see clearly. I just shared all that with you because I want you to see clearly there's so many advantages that you're gaining by sticking around here. And I hope they're becoming more and more clear. Whether you follow everything we're doing or not, this is leading to us finding the perfect ad and the perfect lead capture page, the perfect message to the perfect audience, and setting all of this up and then showing you just exactly what to do so you don't have to think about it. You didn't have to experience all of that trial and error and learning. And we show you exactly what works. And we're going to continue doing that. Like, you just can't fail when you approach things that way in marketing. Again, it's not gambling. You don't throw money at something and hope it works and leave if it doesn't. You set it up to be impossible to fail. And that's what this process is. And I just wanted to introduce you to this process entering into YouTube. I'll keep you posted, guys. We're really excited about it.